Welcome to this thought leadership session, and I have today with me Venkat from Mondelez. He's the Vice President of Supply Chain. He's a global thought leader. And today we requested Venkat to come and share his thoughts around supply chain resiliency, supply chain strategies and innovations that not just Mondelez is doing, as from his past experience of close to 2.5 decades, things that he could share with us. So Venkat, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
And have you flown in for this session, for this event here, or you're based in Delhi itself?
We're flying in. We flew out of Mumbai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we do spend this time. I know last year we were in Mumbai talking to AWS colleagues in a similar event. And
Sure.
It's a great pleasure to be back here again.
Right. And are you enjoying the weather? The heat?
No.
I mean, I'm from Bangalore and find it so, different whenever
I was
land.
expecting it to be much cooler,
Cooler,
but
yeah.
it's okay. Part
Yeah,
of
I was
life.
hoping it would rain. So Venkat, given the extremely rich experience you've had in supply chain, I wanted to first start with a very important question, and that's the theme of the event as well, right? At Mondelez, and one is Mondelez, of course, inside out and then outside in. How is technology shaping the entire supply chain evolution? And when I say technology, yes, this question is quite redundant, AI, analytics, ML, but what do you see currently is really, really impacting the changes that we are seeing in supply chain, Venkat?
I wouldn't say it is anything different from what you see in life.
Right.
The speed at which technology is changing your life, it's changing every profession, and probably supply chain is one part of it.
Sure.
If you go back historically compared to last few years to now, if you were to look at supply chain as a profession or as a enabler to the business, the technology is slowly and steadily taking it over.
Sure.
Right? Supply chain was all about make, pack and ship. Now it is all about make, pack and ship the digital way.
Yeah.
So you can't stay away from it.
That's true.
So probably took some time before it came in, but I think now starting from the time we predict our demand to translating that demand into our own internal processes
Sure.
and manufacturing and shipping and connecting back to the suppliers.
Sure.
Everything is getting digitized, and
Right.
slowly and steadily we can see that without being adapting technology, it's not going to be competitive. Supply chain is not going to be a competitive advantage for your business.
Sure. And when you say technology, how do you see generative AI these days? And that's the talk of the town, right? Generative AI. And I'm not going to ask you the use cases, but do you see a larger penetration of generative AI, agentic AI in the supply chain use cases and ecosystem at all?
We definitely generative AI is already in. I
Sure.
think when it comes to demand forecasting, and I think what's interesting to see is we always talk about complexity.
Yeah.
So the consumer is getting more complex, the customer is getting more complex, the channels are getting more complex. You would never be able to predict the demand if you were to follow the traditional methods. You have to adapt generative AI there too. And even in predictive maintenance, a lot
Sure.
of it inside the plants, and slowly towards now I think from a generative AI, we are slowly progressing towards more of a twins and
Sure.
start and allowing. So today we use more to predict and enable us. Slowly we are progressing towards a stage where we will allow the models to start taking decisions.
Sure.
I think we're a bit far away from that. I think mainly considering that how you build your data over a period of time to take decisions and all. But generative is definitely part and parcel of life
Sure.
across the value chain.
Sure. And I know Mondelez is also part of World Economic Forum Lighthouse, right?
Yeah.
And there is so rich use cases and experience out there from Mondelez that people adopt and learn, right, as part of the entire World Economic Forum knowledge sharing. One thing that, this is the last thing that I wanted to pick your brain on, is when it comes to your partnership with Amazon or AWS, how have you seen this? And especially in your area of supply chain and manufacturing, maybe we'll touch upon, or the cloud per se.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
So our global supply chain data infrastructure, especially in manufacturing, we collaborate a lot with AWS.
Sure.
Right? I think with the cloud coming in, I think it has really enabled, and especially working with AWS, I think we are able to get our insights into data across the global.
Sure.
And it allows us to benchmark and quickly adapt and be agile in our supply chains. We were also working with AWS in a sort of a digital twin, because we have some good bench use cases which we came across when we visited AWS. I think we're trying to work with them on a couple of digital twin in the manufacturing specifically. I think the biggest learning comes from Amazon per se in us is we look upon them as a North Star in supply chain. Even if they don't make the products, I think obviously the complexity they handle, the scale they handle, and even when we spent one full day in Amazon being a hardcore supply chain professional, for me it was like everything was new. I was almost stunned by the terminology that you guys use. So for us, that's a North Star that we are a domain master in FMCG.
True.
A lot of understanding of a consumer and the product. We want to integrate that to the technical mastery that Amazon brings, for which will allow us to be the best supply chain in Indian FMCG.
And have you visited any of our fulfillment centers outside India, in India?
Haven't been there physically, but a lot of colleagues work with me who have worked in the fulfillment center. So they bring a lot of knowledge themselves to what we do. And many times they feel we are too slow. And we feel in FMCG we are too fast, but they keep coming and telling to me, hey, this looks like, I'm on a easy mode and all. So, but there's a lot to pick up from Amazon from a tech adaptability to supply chain. And I think when we get with that together, that's our North Star. How do you bring our own FMCG domain together with the tech domain? And then that should be a North Star as a supply chain for us.
No, I think you underestimated yourselves quite a lot here, because you are a World Economic Forum certified lighthouse. So which means that you're doing certain things extremely well, probably the best out there.
Absolutely.
So when you say you're slow, I mean that's a bit of
that's probably the industry, right? I think we do fabulously well in the manufacturing domain.
True.
I think what Amazon teaches is above beyond manufacturing. How could you be consumer centricity, or be the agility, be the speed, and the scale and the complexity. I was amazed when they said the number of SKUs you manage.
400 million,
somebody would have told me that's the SKUs you have to manage in my supply chain, I probably would have never done the job.
That's true. 400 million is quite a lot. So thank you so much for your time, Venkat. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. One thing that I would want to leave with you is, please do give us a shout if you want to visit any of our fulfillment centers. We have started doing something called remote FC visits.
Okay.
So at any point, if you want to do a remote FC visit sitting in India for your team, please do let us know. And we also have started something called a remote smart factory visit, which is Wichita Smart Factory Visit. So at any point, if you are interested in looking at how does a North Star factory look like, not a World Economic Forum lighthouse, of course, but that's something which is always an option. But thank you so much for sharing that insight. I hope you enjoyed it. Discussion. Thank you for showing the trust on Amazon and the faith that you have. We exist because of you, and we are obsessed about delivering the value every day. So thank you so much, Venkat.
A great pleasure being here.
Likewise.